Okay, so this is a story about a world where the very idea of communication gets turned completely on its head. It starts with what seems like an amazing new power, but it ends up uncovering this really profound paradox about what we can actually know about ourselves. I mean, seriously, think about that for a second. What if you had a superpower with one giant catch? You could prove everyone else has it, you could watch them use it, but you could never ever get concrete proof that you have it too. That's the wild puzzle we're going to get into today. All right, so our story kicks off after this bizarre global event has turned almost everyone into stone. We're following our main character, William, who's now in this strange new form. He's a being of pure light. And the world around him? It's completely dark and utterly silent. But as he starts to explore, he finds he's not alone. He comes across a small group of others, just like him. They seem to be talking, but there's no noise, no vibration, nothing. So he goes up to them, trying to ask what's happening, and then something incredible happens. They all turn to face him, and he hears them speak. And here it is, the first major clue about this new reality. The communication, it isn't sound. It's happening entirely inside his mind. It's basically telepathy. The words just appear there, fully formed, no ears required. So, two of the other survivors, Boris and Kira, they explain their working theory. They call it directed attention. The idea is you can't just broadcast a thought out into the world. Nope. You have to aim it, focus it directly on someone for them to be able to hear it. But William, he's still skeptical. I mean, how can they be so sure? This whole thing sets up a pretty clever experiment to find the truth. To settle it once and for all, Boris proposes a two-part social experiment. It's designed to prove without a shadow of a doubt exactly how this new form of communication really works. So the experiment has two stages. The first is really just to set a baseline. And the second part is designed to create a situation where the outcome would be totally impossible by any normal means. Okay, so for the first test, William walks a long way away and then comes back. Boris focuses on him and says a phrase, and William repeats it perfectly. The crowd is amazed, but William, he's not impressed at all. From his perspective, a guy said something, and he repeated it. So what? It proves absolutely nothing. And you know what? He's totally right to be skeptical. This is where the experiment gets really ingenious. For part 2, the definitive test, Kira walks so far away she's just a tiny speck of light. And while she's gone, the entire crowd agrees on a secret phrase, something she has absolutely no way of knowing. This is the secret bit of information. The test is simple, right? Can this phrase get to Kira without anyone physically saying it to her? A messenger is picked from the crowd to go tell her. And here's the big moment. As the messenger is walking towards Kira, before he can say a single word, Kira just speaks the secret phrase out loud, word for word. For William, this is it. It's undeniable proof. He just witnessed information transfer without any physical medium. He is totally convinced. But this very proof reveals a shocking intellectual twist that he did not see coming. So, the experiment was a huge success. But at the same time, it exposed a fundamental limit to what any single person there could actually know. William has this sudden, chilling realization. He can prove that Kira received a thought telepathically because he was an outside observer. He was a bystander. He saw the whole setup and the payoff. But he can never, ever prove to himself that he has the same ability because his own experience of receiving a thought is completely internal. It's subjective. There's no way to get outside of it. Another character, Linus, basically confirms this profound trap. He points out that sure, it's totally illogical to think you're the only one without the ability, but that's still just a logical assumption. It's a belief. It's not proven knowledge. You're forever stuck being a bystander to the proof of your own power. Now, this paradox connects to a much bigger philosophical idea about consciousness itself, and the story uses this really brilliant analogy to explain it. Think of it like this. Pure awareness is like a mirror. It's just the silent, unchanging space where everything happens. Your mind, on the other hand, is everything that appears in the mirror. Your thoughts, your feelings, your memories, even that feeling of I that's observing everything. It's all just a reflection. And that right there, that perfectly illustrates the core issue. A reflection in a mirror can see all the other reflections, right? But can a reflection ever turn around and see the mirror itself? No way, of course not. The mirror is what makes the reflection possible in the first place, but it's not another object in the mirror to be seen. So let's tie this back to our story. Proving telepathy in other people is like one reflection observing another reflection. It's possible, but trying to prove your own telepathic reception, that's like a reflection trying to see the mirror. The experience is purely subjective. It's just another piece of content, another reflection that you can't step outside of to verify. The big takeaway here is this really mind-bending challenge to what we think we know about, well, self-knowledge. It draws this sharp, clear line between what we can logically believe about ourselves and what we can ever truly, truly prove. And that leaves us with this final, really provocative question that kind of applies this whole paradox to our own lives. Forget superpowers for a second. What fundamental truths about your own consciousness, your own inner world, do you just accept on faith? Simply because being the one having the experience means you can never be the objective bystander who can prove it.